Releasing energy and we will burn on our own. Our planet will burn. Are you getting what I'm saying? I'm repeating it. If the size of Earth increases similar to that of the size of Earth is increased similar to that of Sun, it will glow, burn, and start releasing radiation because the material will fuse together as per F equals is proportional to m1 m2 upon r square. R is very small. All material come very close to each other because of gravity. Now, what Sir Subramaniam Chandrasekhar's limit is, this is related to the previous slide where what I have shown. Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, he got his Nobel in 1983, but at that time he was the President of United States of America. So his Nobel Prize is not considered as that of an Indian citizen, but he's basically an Indian. Born 1910 at Lahore, Punjab, studied at Presidency College, Chennai. Now he showed that the mass of a white dwarf star could not exceed 1.44 times that of Sun. Now please remember this number 1.44. Any star, if increases in size greater than 1.44 times that of Sun, which is also called the Chandrasekhar limit, the star or the Sun will disappear or it will convert to a black hole. Now, that concept I have yet to clearly understand. But this is what Sir Subramaniam Chandrasekhar stated, and he got his 83 Nobel Prize along with William F. Fowler. Okay, so let me go ahead. Now, it is today's gentleman. The hero of the day is Sir Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman. Again, let me give some brief about his birth. 1888. He born in Tamil Nadu, died 1970s. Okay. He did his secondary and higher secondary education at the age of 11 and 13. So why today we are celebrating Science Day? You can understand. This is Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman, C.V. Raman. And he taught in bachelor's in physics from University of Madras Presidency College at the age of 16. Now imagine today what we were at the age of 16. Most of you must have crossed 16 years of age. But I don't think you have the ability or we have ever had the ability of this kind. But one among us in India was of this nature. He first published his paper on diffraction of light in 1906 when he was doing his graduation. A year after doing post-graduation, while doing PhD, we learned how to write. But he did it when he was in his graduation exam. Then next year, he obtained his master's degree, MA at that time. Now, some interesting fact. He joined the Indian Finance Services in Calcutta as Assistant Accountant General at the age of 19. Our today IAS or civil service examination starts at the age of 21. At that time, he was allowed to appear and he secured this position. His elder brother was also in the accountant general position. He followed, copied him, and he became accountant general at the age of 19. This office, okay. Then he went to Calcutta. There he got interacted with the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science. Now imagine the role of your science society in your college, what it is. They are doing the same thing, the cultivation of science. Usually in our talks, we rarely talk science. In your WhatsApp group, I doubt you have always science. You may have a lot of jokes about current politicians or film stars or sports person, all those things. We do not share science. It's very rare. Now, at that time, he was searching for some institute with which he can interact and spend some time on science while he was working as a assistant accountant general in Kolkata. So he got an opportunity and interacted with Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science, and they allowed him to do some independent research. Okay, and his topic was acoustics and optics. You'll come to know Mridangam, the music. He tried to uh, put it in computational terms. Then, strange, surprisingly, he was also at Nagpur. Now, this office is on the West High Court Road. You must have seen the Audit and Accounts General Office, Mahalekhakar Parishad. So during 1910 to 11, he was in Nagpur. When he was staying in Nagpur, he had his own laboratory at home. And we have Raman Science Center also with his memory only. What was his discovery? His discovery, you can see change in the wavelength of light that occurs when a light beam is deflected by molecules. We are using an equipment called differential optical absorption spectrophotometry. We allow one white light to pass through an air medium. It absorbs the pollutants in the atmosphere, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, ozone, PTX. When they absorb these molecules, their frequency and wavelength changes, which is received at the receptor, and from there we calculate the concentration of this pollutant. This is called DOAS, DOAS, differential optical absorption spectrophotometry. We use it all day, is a functioning on the principle of Raman effect. Now he discovered it on February 28, 1928. Now remember, his year of birth was 1888, but his and number 7, but the discovery of this Raman effect was 28th February. And that is why we celebrate the Science Day on 28th of February. After 2 years, he got Nobel Prize in Physics in 1930. I think for today, we have come to the level where I have explained to you why we are celebrating this day, and who are all the scientific persona in our history. And I give a word of caution. When we talk about our history, we should not put other scientists or historians or any person in the other continent lower than ours. There is a tendency among our youth to praise ourselves and say that the other is small. It is not like that. We are all apart. Science is a religion for us. We are all apart. We are complementary to each other. So we too have done something, they have done something. In some society, this subject was promoted. And if you go through once again the Renaissance period, the Renaissance, when the science was given official acceptance that yes, if you do it, we will appreciate it. That what in Hindi is a mahal of Vigyan that was given wherever you get it, you study it in your college campus also. If you get that mahal of discussing science, you will excel. These are some of the photographs which I clicked when I was going to Antarctic. You can see this is an ice shelf on the polar waters. We landed helicopter on this. This is our station on the right corner, Maitri station. These are our station, Maitri. With me in the laboratory. This is the balloon which we released along with the payload of 2.5 kg. Sensors in the atmosphere which measures ozone, nitrogen oxide, and several other parameters. This is our India's station, and that's all for this program. If you have any question, please may I request the organizer to release, allow the students to interact with their questions. Please.
Yes, students, if there are any questions, please put it in the chat box. Srishti, I will request you to take up a few questions.
Sure, ma'am. If anybody has any questions, they can write in the chat box or unmute themselves and ask them to sir. So we have one question. As can be evidently seen from your presentation, history of science is very enriching and is indeed a very important part of learning science. What are your thoughts on including it in the curriculum in every college and every educational institutions?
Good. Thank you. Thank you very much for this. It's not a question, it's a suggestion. And I don't know how I can do it, but I can tell you, share my experience. When I was in ninth standard, when first the term sine, cos, tan came into our class board, and our maths teacher taught us sine as the ratio of sides of triangles, all these trigonometric terms. In later years, when I joined engineering college, it turned into series. Why, when we were in school, this subject was not taught as series, and it is started from in India. Had that been there, my interest in those subjects must have been much more than what is today. And therefore, I too feel so that our school curriculum needs to be little oriented towards our history of science or even arts. Uh, we need to go through it. And I thank you for putting such a point. I don't know, somewhere in or other in any other forum, I'll put these things. You also keep doing it. And one day we will learn science. I need to explore it. In my talk, I didn't say anything about Aryabhatta, Bhaskaracharya, uh, not because of the time constraint. We have a lot to learn about our ancient history and science. Thank you, thank you. Next question.
Thank you, sir. One student wishes to ask, they are very inspired by your presentation today and also delighted about your work at NIRI. And they are asking whether they can apply to work at NIRI, some internship, or if they are interested, like observe your work.
A lot of people they are joining me in our institute. Some people picks up wastewater engineering science or solid waste management, air pollution, and Nagpur is blessed that you have Raman Science Center for understanding the basics. For application, NIRI is here, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Cotton Research. You should all get attached themselves to these institutes in some way and learn something more. It should be there. I welcome wherever and whenever possible. I'll do that. There's one question.
Yes.
Akshar Panch, Panchakshari, how much importance does patenting hold and what are we doing to increase the rate of patenting as compared to giants like the US and hubs like Israel? Okay, now let me tell you. There are patents. There are patents registered in India or in other countries, US. Now, for registering or filing a patent and maintaining it, there are two things. One is filing and then maintaining, we need to spend some money. Now, if you file some patent, it should have some commercial value. Means it should fetch money, not for you, for the country. If you are not able to fetch money from those patents, it means you are doing something for sake of patenting. Actually, if you come to know about Google, if you go deep inside Google or any automobile company, they have a separate cell for patenting. Continuously, they are patenting something. Like even they can patent the hairpin, safety pin, anything can be patented. What is patenting? Patenting means I have invented it first, I have thought of it first, and putting it on record. But when you do it, see whether it has got some commercial value or not. If not, I think it is not nice to correct approach to go ahead. There are several patents lying registered, maintained, but it has got no uh, commercial value, so it's not much use. And we did not compare like with US or Israel. See, we let us appreciate our history, our past, and go gradually. Did not compete with such people and call them giants. There's nothing big in being giant. That's what I now. Uh, there's another question by Hemant Gavane. Sir, this question is not related to presentation. As a last year biotechnology student, I want to know if NIRI provides internship to biological labs. Yes, we have a very good genomics laboratory, biotechnology and genomics laboratory. You can approach them and discuss with them whether your interest or complementary to each other. Okay. Any other question, please?
We would love to take more questions, but due to time constraints, I think we'll end there. Thank you, sir, for such an informative and insightful talk. There couldn't have been a better way to celebrate National Science Day than remembering those who worked prominently in this field, peeping into the rich history of science, and reminding ourselves how mesmerizing the subject is. And now,
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you, madam. I'm sharing my content so that you can continue. Yes, please. Yeah, I've stopped sharing. Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
And now, as we head towards the end of the program, I'd like to invite Khushi for the vote of thanks.
A warm good afternoon to one and all present here. It is my immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution to those who have worked hard for this event. I would like to thank the Almighty God for today's event, for making today's event a resounding one. At the onset, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. K.V. George from NERI for sharing his experiences and all relevant information to it. I'm sure that students have a large number of important takeaways from this event. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Prashant Shelke, sir, Vice Principal, Dr. Pratik Michael, sir, and Ajay Yo, sir, and all the teachers associated with this event for the support, encouragement, and guidance. I need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation to those who took time out and participated in a very proactive manner. We truly appreciate your presence today for this event organized by Science Society. This is Khushi concluding the event. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thanks to all of you. Thank you.